The Podbreed Network is strictly for the small podcasts that are up and coming in the vast world of podcasting. Podbreed is made up of many diverse podcasts, coming together to achieve the same goal of being the best damn podcast network on the planet. Find out more at podbreed.com.
There are over 2 million podcasts, but how many of those can massage the mind, elevate the senses, take you to another plateau? Allow me to introduce you to Drea's Point of View, the 10-minute or less podcast that brings you observations and experiences from her perspective.
I came across this show on the OWN network called All the Single Ladies. It focuses on Black women talking about their dating stories. It took me a while to watch it because Black women aren't always depicted in the best light when it comes to dating. But I thought I'd give it a chance after seeing some promotions about it. So each episode, they're in an art gallery looking at artwork, and then they give a description about what that painting means to them. Then they're introduced to the audience, and they sit on a couch talking to the producer or looking at the camera. Welcome to Drea's Point of View. I am the hostess of this short form podcast, Drea. Please follow this show on IG, Facebook, Clubhouse, and Pinterest at Drea's Point of View. You can also find me on Twitter at Drea Point. So every episode got more and more interesting, and now it is one of my favorite shows. The show topics do vary each week. The first week was about red flags, which I feel is the most important topic to start with, because so often we ignore them just so we can have someone. So, like I said, each woman is introduced to us from different walks of life, different ages. Once we learn about how they meet their person, we then learn about their upbringing, which I feel is very important. So, in that first episode, there was a lady, she got drawn in financially because the guy took care of everything and even bought her groceries. So she thought that she found what her family had, what she grew up with. The guy was older, and she found out that it was more of a controlling relationship. She was alienated from her friends and was even told that she wasn't good enough. The guy bought her 3 different rings, one bigger than one before it, but she never wore any of them. She saw him talk to his mom very disrespectful, and that was a turnoff to her. She would cry and he would send flowers. She had a child, and so did he. She got pregnant, had an abortion, and she said that was the smartest thing she ever did. She kept going back to him, though, because she thought that she could change him. Another woman, she met the guy on a dating app. They got engaged early. She never got a ring. She said there were too many baby mother issues. And they eventually split. Then there was this other woman. She said she fell head over heels with them until they got married. And then that's when the intimacy started to fade. She felt like she was a hired help. They did go to therapy, although he refused to say anything. Then they had group therapy where he just talked about other people's problems. And she was the one who initiated that divorce. And then there was another episode that talked about side chicks. Now that one I found was interesting because I was expecting one of them to talk about them choosing to be a side chick, but apparently they were all the side chick unknowingly. It was very interesting, though, because that's not a deal breaker for some people. I know one woman, she found out by looking at his social media. Another found out after she was married and pregnant. And then another found out about 3 years into the relationship, after going to his house. She went to his place sooner than she expected and happened to see him in a driveway with another woman. And then there was one that said she found out that he had another phone. And I've been noticing that a lot lately in my travels, how guys have other phones. And I don't know if I could really trust that. Just get another number. You could have the same phone, but that other phone stuff, I don't know. That's always kind of suspect to me. Another woman actually said that she got letters in the mail, handwritten letters from women, but she thought it was just one woman because of the handwriting. And she actually confronted the guy. Well, they all confronted the guy about it. On the side of the screen, as these women are talking, they post statistics for each of the scenarios, like how many people actually cheat on their social media platforms, how many people are the side person. It's very interesting, very, very good show. One woman said that she actually went to relationship therapy, and another one said that she is actually taking dating classes to start over, and that's actually not a bad idea for a lot of us. I think we just need a do-over with this whole dating thing. And then there was a week that talked about Swirl Life, which is, of course, dating outside of the race. Most of them did not plan on it. And one of them was interesting why she did it, because no one of her own race was interested in her. So she went where the love was. Then there was an episode that talked about why women cheat. That was very interesting. Almost all of them said that it wasn't intentional, but definitely emotional. Now, I go back and forth with that response because, okay, you may not go in necessarily planning it out, but I think you know what you're doing while you're doing it. No one has a gun in your head to sleep with somebody else. I know there was one woman who actually cheated one time. It was when she was traveling for work, and it was wound up being with an old friend. She eventually told her partner about it, although they had their suspicions, and she regretted it. Another episode talked about being raised by religion. Then there was one who talked about Bad Boys. This show is definitely worth a watch, and I recommend it for both men and women. We can learn from each other's experiences. This show comes on Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I'd love to know what you think about it. If you don't have their own network, you can watch some episodes on YouTube. At the end of each episode, the producer lets them say their closing thoughts, and they give their love lessons, and you get like a "Where are you now?" So make sure that you check that out and subscribe to my show as well as my YouTube channel so that you're not missing out of any of the multiple shows that I have for you each week. My intention is not to change your point of view, but only to listen to Drea's point of view. Thanks so much for listening.
Leave a review, tell a friend, and make sure you subscribe to Drea's Point of View. Until next time.